Welcome to Search for Mighty Max. This is the show where me and my brother search for, find, and talk about books. Talking about books. Talking about comic books. Talking about graphic novels. Talking about manga. We're talking about manga, if you want to be specific. I always called it manga, but the cool kids call it manga. Manga, anime, whatever floats your boat, man. But yeah, I'm still kicking it with the books thing. I keep looking up comic books. I keep looking up, manga that's out there, seeing what else I might want to read. I grabbed the first thing that I could think of to grab was my Zelda shirt. Running out the door. I'm at a conference for research professionals. It's called the RP Group. So I'm at the RP Conference 2025 in San Francisco. I'm in the hotel, the Hyatt Regency San Francisco Airport Hotel. So that's where the conference is at. I don't even have to really go anywhere. I just pretty much stay here at this hotel. And I was like, dude, I should read some comic books, read some manga, and just like, maybe I could do an episode. Let's see. That area out there behind me is called the Atrium. Super interesting space. And then below, there's kind of like a lower level. That's where we've been doing all of our conference stuff, meeting groups, meeting rooms, learning research stuff. It's been cool. But yeah, came in yesterday, and now it's today, and I was like, shoot, I gotta do an episode. Did some scripting. This is what my scripting looks like. I just pretty much write down things I want to say, and that one ended up pretty crazy looking, filling up the page. Clearly have some things I want to say. So if I'm looking down, it's just because I need to like check my script and see if I forgot to say something. I have kind of a sequential, order to things. So yeah, so I got my Zelda shirt for posterity's sake, and because somebody asked me about it too. So this is kind of a tie-in to the last part. But I have my Feeling for a Friend sweatshirt, and somebody asked me about it, and me and Anna, we had gone on a whale watching boat cruise, and somebody came up to me and was like, "Feel for a Friend," like the Elton John song. And I was like, no, it's a rock band from Wales, but close. And somebody else also asked me about it yesterday, and I was like, no, it's a rock band from Wales. Just, I don't know, it just sounds Feel for a Friend, I don't know. But I realized from the last video, I never showed the back. So this is what the back looks like. So you can see, like, people are like, dude, what's up with this guy? So I didn't know wearing things in your late 30s that look all heavy metal and rock and scary and stuff make you, I don't know, people say, what's up with this guy? But yeah, I was wandering around the Atrium because there's a restaurant out there and stuff. I was wandering around in my hat and sweatshirts and shorts coming in from my drive. I probably look like such a hoodlum. But anyhow, for posterity's sake, that's just if I forget to say something in the previous episode or part, I'll just say it now, whatever, to connect the dots, So I brought my Zelda shirt because I had read that Twilight Princess manga that Anna got me for Christmas, and I was like, dude, what else did they write? So I got this one, of course. I had to go get A Link to the Past because maybe it's good. I don't know. I did just literally finished reading this, and it was okay, pretty decent, kind of an interesting story. There's another character added. Her name's Ghanti, and she's like a bandit girl. And then Link is explicitly stated to be a descendant of the Knights of Hyrule, which I think we've known from other mediums, Breath of the Wild, things like that. So they were kind of like natural like enemies. And she thought that the Knights of Hyrule had killed her parents, but it ended up not being true. She was also a descendant of the Knights of Hyrule. It was actually pretty badass. She actually had the silver arrows in her earrings. So at the end, they freaking teamed up and kicked ass. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, pretty good take on it. I don't think I ever wanted to read it because I'm like, you can't top the original Link to the Past Nintendo Power story. Like, you just can't top it. He does when he goes into the Dark World, it's actually the girl that turns into the wolf this time. And then later, like when she gets hurt, he like starts to turn into the wolf, but he ends up containing his rage, and then they just team up and like kick ass. So yeah, it was pretty short, but I did enjoy it. Really didn't take me too long to read, and they pretty much jammed through the pendants. They were just like boop 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 boop. All right, he's got the pendants, he's got the Master Sword, and then the Dark World piece. They were all like transformed humans or aliens or whoever they were. They were people. They got changed into whatever those beasts were in each one of those dungeons. So I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. That's kind of an interesting take. So then when he defeated them, they just like transformed back into their normal parts. I think actually one of them was kind of like a monster looking thing, but they weren't all evil, right? They brought their evilness with them when they went to the Dark World. But yeah, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past by those same authors that did Twilight Princess, Akira Himekawa, which is actually 2 women, which I think is interesting for them to kind of do a completely different name. Akira Himekawa, collaboration of 2 women, A. Honda and S. Nagano. I think I read this last time when I did the Twilight Princess thing. But yeah, they've done, I think most of the major properties for Zelda already, like most of the mainline games. They did Ocarina of Time, which I've read that one before. Might be something worth revisiting later. But I really was just like, Twilight Princess and this one, like these are the most badass. So let me read those. And then there's Oracle of Seasons, 4 Swords, Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, they do like a bunch of them. Let's see. And at the end, he ends up getting an apple farm. That was like his wish. He wanted to have an apple farm because that was what he had with his uncle. So I thought that was pretty clever. And then I realized in this one too, because I'm comparing it to like the original one, this is all in black and white. Same thing with the Twilight Princess one. It was all black and white. There might have been like one page that was in color, but the original one is all in color, colorized version. And that's kind of how it goes with manga. Like, I didn't really think about it, but like, they're mostly in black and white. And OG Ninja Turtles was also in black and white. And yeah, I don't know, kind of interesting. The artwork is still amazing. But yeah, the color does bring something extra to it. But the shading in Ninja Turtles was like, kind of made the colorization a little rough because it was very shaded. This one doesn't really feel that way. Like, it could get colorized later. And if it does, I would totally pick it up. But right now, it's still just in black and white, and still, you know, it looks good. The artwork's good. Let's see. There was like one when he gets the Master Sword, right? That's always like the most epic artwork. Where is it? I feel like I just flipped it to it. What the heck? And then he goes there, and he does that. He does a thing, and he gets a pendant. And then he gets kind of lost. And then he's like, BAM! Master Sword! Dude, Master Sword is so dope. I just like things with swords, man. Swords are just freaking rad. Adventure Time, Zelda, sword. So yeah, still going down the manga train. That's where I'm going. Next thing I got here, spoilers for you, bro. If you haven't opened up your package yet, then this is what's in there. You might have guessed, maybe not, I don't know. But I got these 2 Mega Man manga books because they just released in English recently, and they were at the local comic shop, Legends Comics and Games. They posted like a picture of it, and I was like, what is that? That sounds kind of cool. I think bro might like that too. So I tried to buy 2 copies of each. I sent the copies to Kevin already, so bro, you should have those if you haven't opened it up yet. And then I had to buy another copy of Mr. Mega Man. It was actually on Amazon. I just had to pay a little bit more. And I was like, whatever. So yeah, it's called Mr. Mega Man and then Little Mega Man. So in Mr. Mega Man, it's like a return to like things are quote unquote normal. And then Mega Man, Rockman, becomes like a dentist. So now they're all using like all their tools for like what they were meant to be for, I guess. I mean, I don't know if Mega Man was ever meant to be a dentist, but he's got that tool arm. He could just switch to whatever. So I guess he can switch to dentist tools. Why not? And then it's so funny on the back. It says, when Mega Man grows up, he must face his greatest challenge of all. Life as an adult. Right? Ugh. Being an adult sucks. And then this one, I think this is one of the first things I noticed on it was it has that crazy Mega Man cover, weird Mega Man guy. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? They actually put that on the cover? That's hilarious. So I had to grab this as well. And it's by the same authors, Yushi Kawata and Yukito. So I was like, all right, sounds pretty cool. So it should be 3 volumes for this one, 3 volumes for this one. I haven't read these yet. I wanted to make sure that bro got these okay and we could start reading them together. Hopefully it's good, because there's only 3 volumes a piece, and they're going to be coming out throughout like this year, I think. Because I know the next one's scheduled for like April or May or something like that. So hopefully they all come out this year. And then it's a good read. So let's see. Earlier in March, I got a really bad sinus infection, and it fucking sucked. I can like not get away with it. I feel like every year for the past couple of years, I've been getting sinus infections. It starts raining, and my immune system is like, nope, sinus infection for you. Have fun. And I was freaking out of work for a whole damn week. It was bad. I was like, dude. So I ended up watching Adventure Time. I watched a shit ton of Adventure Time. It's actually a pretty dope show. Definitely a big fan of it. It seems like there's a pretty big fandom for it as well, which makes sense because, like I said, it's a great show. So I watched pretty much all of Adventure Time, and then even Distant Lands, even Fiona and Cake, which were like the things that happened like after a continuation of the series of characters. And then I remembered I had this, which is an interesting book, Exploring the Land of Oo, an unofficial overview and production history of Cartoon Network's Adventure Time. Like one-ish chapter in, I got a ways to go, but I started reading it for real. It's been pretty interesting. So I've just been reading it here and there, and it's pretty good. And I had one of my bookmarks from my chopped up Final Fantasy 6 poster. It just looked weird to me, so I ended up like chopping up all the characters and just making them into bookmarks. And this time I'm using Edgar's as a bookmark. But I have the other one somewhere that I can swap out. But yeah, pretty interesting book so far. He's just kind of explaining the characters. And just a kind of journey through the show. That's kind of the first part, and then we'll get more to like the actual production and the writing and stuff like that. So normally I've read like philosophy or like psychology books for pop culture stuff. This is my first time kind of reading an actual like show history production kind of thing. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting so far. So with that, I also pulled out, because I had grabbed my comic box and I pulled out my Adventure Time graphic novels that I got. So these are the 3 that I have right now. I've been looking at getting some more, but I'm just not exactly sure what I want to do. So I think it was either this one or the second one I'm going to show, but I grabbed Adventure Time Season 11, because that show ended on Season 10, and then they had a Season 11, and I was like, okay, that was a really cool show. It ended. I was watching that in real time too. I feel like I don't watch a lot of shows in like real time. So at the end of it, I think I picked it up like Season 5. I started watching it in real time, so I was kind of having to wait for stuff to come out. So yeah, when the finale aired, I was like watching it, as it was happening, and I was like, oh, the crap, this show's ending? No. So when Season 11 comic book came out, I got that, and I was like, okay, cool. Glad at least something's continuing. And then I started looking into the comics. This was a pretty good story. It just didn't have like the wallop that the show had. So I ended up grabbing this one as well, beginning of the end. So they kind of, Finn and Jake kind of go through this time travel-y kind of thing with this hourglass looking character that was pretty crazy looking. Man, Adventure Time always has like crazy art and crazy characters. It's so cool. So it's supposed to be like Father Time or something, and he's like chasing them through time. So that was a little bit more interesting. And of course, this was all before Distant Lands, before Fiona and Cake. So it's kind of that in-between area. And then I ended up picking up Volume 1 of the mainline Adventure Time series, because there's 2, and there's like some other spinoffs and some other craziness. So I was like, Volume 1. Let's just start at the beginning. So this is Adventure Time Volume 1. And this was kind of a return to form for kind of the earlier stages of the show. So that was nice to kind of, all right, well, we can't really go in anymore this way. So let's just kind of go back to what, classic adventures with Finn and Jake and the other characters in this world. So I definitely want to read more of this. I have kind of some digital copies of some of this stuff, but I don't know, just having the book and being able to read and flip the pages, I feel like it's so much better. I just like the physicality of it. So if I'm going to read some more Adventure Time books, I feel like I'm going to need to get some actual copies. But for now, I just have the Adventure Time Season 11, beginning of the end, and then Volume 1. Oh, and so I'm checking my notes. This is why I got the notes. This is why I got this. I got the script in here. So I actually bought a compendium, because this year they released a compendium of, because there's 2 kind of main authors for this book, Ryan North, and then I forget who the next person is, but he did like volumes 1 through 8, if I remember right. So they were selling a compendium of all of the books that he had written. And I bought it, but it was like this big old thick thing, and I was like, I can't really, like, this is a collector's item. I can't really like read this thing. Like, I'm trying to flip through it, I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. So I ended up returning it, but it did just come out this year, and I think the reason that it was coming out this year is they're kind of doing like a push. They just released a 2025 version of the Adventure Time story, kind of a reboot or something like new stories, right? The trade paperback, the collected version of it, the graphic novel, is supposed to come out in November of this year. So I was like, do I want to get the comics or like read in real time? Or I just want to get the trade paperback, because that's usually how I roll. I don't really like the individual books because I'm not about that. I want to like, here's a graphic novel, I can read it, put it on my shelf, cool. Collected in a volume, So I might just wait until that comes out later. And I'm kind of in this mood where I'm just like, I don't know, I don't really want to like spend any money. I'm kind of just like chilling, looking at the stuff I got right now. Yeah, so I'm like, let me just wait. Let me think about it and let me wait. So that issue number 1 is actually supposed to come out in April, which is this month, April 2025. I think like next week or something. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like, you know. So that's going to be called Best of Buds. That's the title for it. Best of Buds. It's like, that's an amazing title. I like that. So there's some other stuff I wanted to get. There's a comics collection of it. It's all the trade paperbacks in like a box, and it's 1 through 10. But I like cannot find it. Like, damn it, dude. I saw it like one time, and I'm like, I should have got it. But who knows, man? Who knows about these things? You just miss things, and it's like, all right, well, damn, next time, I guess. And then the next time never comes, which is great, right? You're just sitting around waiting. And then there's an art book called The Art of Ooh, which is just like super thick, super awesome looking book. But it's like $250 to like $500, like in that range. And I'm like, bro, seriously? Print some more copies. Like, give me a break. I don't want to blow that much on like one freaking book. But damn, it's an art book, and those art books, they're always, if they're good, people want them, and that price goes whomp, and you're just like screwed. So yeah, those are some things I'm like wanting to get. It's like the new books that are coming out for it, the comics collection, the art book. I'm like, dang it, I want those things, but I'm also like, I'm sitting pretty, looking at the stuff I got, so I'm good for now. Just stuff that I'm thinking about. So on this Adventure Time kind of tangent here, because I got sick and I was like, Adventure Time is awesome. I need to explore that more. I also have this Volume 5 of Bravest Warriors. Oh my lord. You're chilling, you start talking, and then you start coughing, can't breathe. Alright, so on the line on Adventure Time, the other creation by Pendleton Ward, who created Adventure Time, Bravest Warriors. Bravest Warriors! So I got Volume 5 right here, because this one is the only volume. These comics that are in here are the only ones that were written by Breen Burns, who was the showrunner of the Bravest Warriors show from seasons 1 to 2 to 3. And then season 4 was somebody different. So this one's technically canon in terms of the show and the story and everything. A pretty good story, pretty well written. That was kind of my problem with this whole series, is that it's kind of some interesting concepts, but it never really like matched like the energy from like the show. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like with the Adventure Time stuff, the writers that they get are pretty good, and they really know how to like tell stories with the character. Like, I'm enjoying these stories, but the Bravest Warriors one was kind of I don't know, except for this one. So this one was pretty solid, and I used to have copies of volumes 1 through 7. And I actually went and donated them to the library because I'm such a good guy. And I was like, these are freaking heavy, and the stories are not as good as I want them to be. But also part of me is like, maybe I should re-buy all those, because they're not expensive right now, but they might be later. But yeah, they're not expensive right now. Even because I have the Bravest Warriors art book, even that wasn't like really expensive. So I don't know, people are just sleeping on this show, sleeping on these books. But yeah, I got Volume 5. Really good story. It's actually, they say like it happens between these 2 episodes or something. So there's real canon to it. And that's the only volume that I have of them. But I also have these 2 comics. So I have This is Bravest Warriors number 21 with Beth Tezuka on the cover. And then I also got this Bravest Warriors Impossibear Special number 1. And I'm pretty sure I got these with my bro Kevin in Santa Cruz when we visited a comic book shop. I was like, hey, there's some Bravest Warrior comic books over there. I'm gonna go pick those up. Sweet. And Impossibear 2 on the cover? Hell yeah. So, those are the only 2 comics I have of that series. I don't have any loose Adventure Time ones either. Like I said, I don't really like loose comics unless it's like the only way that you can get a particular story or see something. But yeah, I can't go wrong with the Impossibear Special. It's really cool. But we'll see. I might end up rebuying the other volumes. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's so rough, man. Like there's certain things it's like, I'm not going to miss that. I don't care. And other things it's like, kind of want another copy of that. But really, I'm like, I'm good either way. Like I said, I'm chilling. So it's fine. But yeah, back to the real-time comic. Because this was in real time. I love that real-time stuff. Showed up on the comic book rack, and I was like, dude, this real-time, this like just came out. Hell yeah. Something about like the real-time, like that show is airing, that comic just came out. Just there's some excitement with it, which is fun, but there's also the possibility of some bullshit, which I wrote down in my notes too, because I've definitely been feeling this. And I was like, I'm adding this to this episode because this has been some bullshit recently. What the fuck? So I keep feeling like a little bit of FOMO, that fear of missing out on some stuff. I keep seeing different things. There was some Adventure Time figures released by Mondo, and they had like an exclusive set that had like an extra BMO and an extra Tree Trunks character in it. And the normal set was just Finn and Jake, and I was like, dude, so fuck pre-orders, fuck limited supply pre-orders especially, fuck exclusives, fuck variants, and I guess, I mean, there's variants in different areas, but I guess I'm talking about like comic book variants. I'm like, dude, why is there like 25 different covers of this comic book? Are you fucking serious? It's the same story inside. The fuck? Save that cover for like another issue or something. What the hell? So yeah, that Mondo thing was like a pre-order, limited supply thing. And I was like, dude, you don't even know how many you need to make. What the fuck? I just feel like we're just getting more and more manipulated with this shit. Like, source material, source material, source material. Expansions of source material. Editions that are affordable and accessible for people. Like, what is this fucking bullshit? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's just that I'm seeing stuff and I'm just getting triggered. I'm like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to access that? Oh, I can't? Cool. Fuck you then. Even though I still want it. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I'm being tricked. I don't know. You know? It's just like, what the fuck? So instead of buying them, I'm just going to find the covers of the Adventure Time number 1 for 2025, because I almost bought some of these covers because they're foil variants, and I was like, is that cool or not? And because I'm like questioning it, I'm like, it's probably not. But I'll just show it somewhere, right here somewhere, so you can just see all the different covers and see what I was looking at and considering purchasing, but I didn't. Because I think I'm just going to wait for the trade. Because really I just want to read the story, right? That's what it really comes down to. So yeah, lately when I've been looking up at stuff, I'm like, I think I just kind of missed out on that. And that's kind of a shitty feeling to be like, well, that was just the time. I wasn't there. I was in school. I was like living my life at that time. I didn't fucking know. And I feel like I missed out on a couple of things. I look it up now, but like also, I keep going back and forth, like who would have known though? You know, who would have known that? For stuff in our childhood, who would have fucking known that now would be this expensive? We're all crazy and nostalgic and just like, life is pretty shitty and I need some kind of form of escape or some kind of solace in my life, so let me go buy this toy from my childhood. It's like a tight walk, man. It's like, how do you find those things that like, this is cool, I like it having it on my shelf, I can fiddle around with this toy, or I can read this book, or I can play this game, and it's still worth doing something today. And also the price didn't gouge me. Like reasonable, healthy forms of coping with some of those things, because I think there is a balance, there's a balance and a way to do it appropriately and not get fucked by stupid companies that just want to fuck us over and take our money. But yeah, some of those things, if you're in the right place, right time, it's like, boom, you got it, you're done. And other times it's like, now it's not available at all, or it's just kind of outside the price range. It's like, can't do it, just gotta let it go, I do feel like I can get mostly what I want, so it's not a huge deal. I feel like my toy shelf, my bookshelf, my video game boxes, I feel pretty satisfied with what I got. So I think I'm just going on a tangent tonight, because I just wrote some notes and I was like, dude, what is this feeling? And I think because my spending's low, I'm being really considerate of where do I want to spend some money? And I'm like, no. So my spending is under control right now, but I'm looking, I'm trying to find something. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I do know that I've been having a fun time reading though. And I'm like, I want to get more things to read, but what exactly? Yeah, so it's not a huge deal. I think buyer's regret personally for me is worse. So annoyed when I get something and I'm like, this is not what I thought, or I'm not feeling the way that I was hoping I would feel. I feel disappointed and I feel dumb. This sucks. So I'd rather not get it than have that feeling, because that feeling is the fucking worst. Like I said, I do like the books. They feel more engaging. They feel more intellectual. They feel more rewarding. And I got a book. I'm reading. I'm getting smart, Maybe it's not a book because it's a book with pictures, but it still makes me feel smart, I'm actually buying something that I can put on the shelf and feel proud that I have that. And then I can always revisit it, right? Like a movie you can rewatch, shows you can rewatch, books you can reread, and it can still be super fun. So it feels less of a risk when I'm getting a book. It still can be pricey, and when something says OOP, I'm like, fuck, dude. If it's out of print, I'm like, no, please be reasonable. I can't find it somewhere. They're not doing different editions. What I noticed on this one, I was like, oh wow. So this one, right? Link to the Past. This is, so the first printing was in February 2010. This is the 17th printing in October 2022. 17 printings. Holy shit. So they keep reprinting this because it's a good story. That's good. But yeah, when something's out of print, I'm like, oh, I'm so fucked. Because it's going to be really, really hard to find. It's going to be hard to find in decent shape, and even harder to find with a decent price tag on it. I think that's the whole trick with that. Most things I think are reasonable. If it's mass produced, they usually produce enough copies that it's not complete pain to get these things and purchase them and obtain them, put them on your shelf. But sometimes if it's out of print, and more likely when it's out of print, you're like, oh no, please. But most of the time it's not too bad. So I've been looking at I've actually been looking at different anime that I've been watching, and okay, I watched this anime, and I want to see if it's worth reading now. Did I finish the anime, and did the anime finish the story that was in the manga? Because sometimes the manga will go longer, and the anime never finished what the manga story was. So I've been kind of looking at stuff like that. I actually just finished yesterday when I was here at the conference and stuff. I finished the anime called Solo Leveling. holy shit, dude, it's such a good anime. I was like, dude, this is amazing. What is this? And it's all like MMO RPG kind of concept. Everybody gets these powers, and most people stay at the same level. Like, you can't really level up, but for whatever reason, this character has the power to get stronger. To get stronger. Dude, it's so good. So yeah, that season 2 finale last night, which just came out like a couple days. So I've been I didn't watch season 1 or most of season 2 in real time, but I just happened to start watching it around the time that the last episode of season 2 came out. So like kind of real time for the end of it. So now I just gotta wait. It wasn't like a crazy ending that I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, they ended it on a good note, and now we're gonna wait and see when season 3 comes out. Like I said, I don't really watch a lot of things in real time, so that's super, super fun for me. I also just finished season 2 of Severance, and I also just finished this show called Common Side Effects, which they did Scavenger's Reign, which is a crazy cartoon. These guys getting lost on a planet with all these crazy monsters and stuff, and alien life forms, and doing all kinds of craziness. They're trying to survive. And the animation style is all crazy. So they also did Common Side Effects, which is about this mushroom that can heal anybody from anything, and just like has the possibility of changing the world, big pharma, all that kind of stuff. So really kind of big ideas. And then of course Severance. It's got Adam Scott, who plays Ben from Parks and Rec, which is great because I love Parks and Rec. And then that separation from work and home life. Severed. 2 different memories. So yeah, the end of season 2 just happened. And yeah, man, I've just been enjoying my shows. I'm like, where did the last couple of months go? Like, I feel like I'm crushing it at my job. Not in school anymore, so that's awesome. Trying to get my blood sugar under control because I'm fat and I have a fatty liver, which sucks. My back's been kind of acting up, but I'm trying to get that under control. And I've just been watching anime and reading books. So I've just been living my life, man. But yeah, solo leveling was freaking awesome. So now I have a couple other anime that I'm wanting to check out, and I'll see if there's any other manga that I want to read, and then maybe I'll do another video on that. Who knows? Total side note, also been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft, because bro's been hitting the World of Warcraft super hard. God damn, bro. You've been hitting that World of Warcraft so hard. So I created a character. I'll put an image of my character up here. My character's name is Garlock, combination of Garbarrow and Lock Cole. Lock Cole from Final Fantasy VI. So I just put those 2 things together. Garbarrow, Gar. Lock Cole, Lock. Garlock. That's me. So I'm playing a human, and then I'm playing as a rogue class. Which is kind of like Locke in Final Fantasy VI. He's like a bandit, right? He like thief, steal stuff, pickpocket. So I was like, dude, that's what I want to be. That'd be awesome. And so far I've been having a good time with it. It's super fun. Kevin's been showing me how to do different things, protecting me from dying all the time. So it's been super fun. So thanks, bro. I've been having a good time with that. I know we're sitting in front of a new dungeon. I'm at level 10, which means that I could do something that you're going to show me. I always think it's super funny when we end our play that we get in bed and have our characters sleep on the little character bed. That's super funny to me. Oh my god, it just makes me laugh. Like, okay, time to go to sleep. Let's go find a town, find a little hotel thing, and then just it's time to go to sleep. But yeah, that's been, I think also the reading and the games, I think has been helping both of us just not spend anything. I'm just like, what books do I have? I'm just gonna read my books. buy a book or two here, not super expensive. That Zelda manga was like less than $10. I was like, all right, it's pretty easy. But yeah, I feel like we've been doing good with our spending. Just got to be, when we do find some stuff, being strategic about what we want to get. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, what am I trying to do? I want to read, but like, what do I want to read? And is there anything else I'm trying to get? Because I still got a checklist. I still got some, some figures and different things I want to look for. It just doesn't feel like a priority right now. I want to read stuff. I want to get smart. So yeah, spending has been limited to nothing for some months since November. So I feel like that's been good. Puts me in a really good financial space. Along with working on my health. Those are kind of my things. Financial health, physical health. I gotta get healthy, man. That's my thing. Get my brain smart, get my body healthy, get my mind okay, get my mental health good. That's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. I think I hit everything on here, man. I'm just like check. So sweet, man. I'm hoping this video doesn't take too much editing. I can just throw some images in there and then share it with you. This episode's getting pretty long and I'm just free chatterbox over here. But yeah, this conference has also been pretty interesting. This hotel's nice. The atrium out there is a really weird, interesting space. I'll try to show some clips of that. Or maybe I already did. Maybe I already edited it and you already saw it. I don't know. We'll see.
We're the bravest warriors, only on Cartoon Hangover.